What's up, Tube Tubs? We're here. Post Hexblast nerf, if you want to call it a nerf. It's more like an absolute just destroy, gutted, remove it from the game type of nerf. We will no longer be using that because if you don't know, Hexblast can no longer detonate until 50% of the curse duration has expired. If we're using Blasphemy, curse is infinitely up, which means it can't expire, which means you cannot detonate Hexblast. So what are we doing now? Are we going to try to plan to do the explodey builds? We're still going to use Blasphemy. We're using Hypothermia. We're going to use Arc, some Cast on Freeze, some Frost Bomb, Orb of Storms, Mana Tempest. We have Fire. We have Lightning and Cold, and we are going to use Call of the Brotherhood to convert all of that Lightning into cold damage, just to get some nice freezes for defense and explodes. Freeze explodes, Chaos explodes. Everything's going to be exploding. It's going to be real nice. I did do a T15. I have no Ascendancy points allocated on my Sorceress. I wanted to not have any influence on the Ascendancy, and it's just straight passive Atlas points taken. And we were able to clear T15s. So I'll run some footage now. You can see me kind of going through, killing everything okay, given the fact that I don't have any Ascendancy points on, and most of my gem levels are 17. I think my highest one is 18. My lowest one's like 15 or 16. So tons of room for improvement. We're running T15s, no Ascendancy, no max skills. We do have perfect Jeweler Orbs, so they are 5 linked. But you know what we're doing is we're running around throwing down our Orb of Storms, then hitting Frost Bombs on the rares and the big packs to kind of get the extra freeze and the exposure. And then when we feel like we're getting kind of consumed by everything or have a big juicy elite, we're going to throw down our Mana Tempest to really pump out the damage and kind of clear everything out for us, which is nice. So you may be wondering, but hey, Arc got nerfed too, right? Yes, it did, and you know that's okay, because if you look at the nerfs, let me show you here. Arc no longer deals more damage for each chain remaining, and now chains 6 to 8 times instead of 2 to 5 at level 20. So you're losing 50% more damage on the first hit, then it goes on to 40% more, 30% more, 20% more. So instead of losing after those first 2 hits, we will now, because of the Lich Ascendancy, getting 30% more damage all the time. So it's a more sustained damage. You may be losing out on, like I said, those first couple hits, but we're going to be chaining a lot more, so you're going to be doing a lot more crowd damage than when you normally would, which is awesome. We can also spec into more chain on the tree, so it should feel pretty good. The fact that we were killing T15s without anything allocated is already a good sign. So I was going to try to go non-channeling spells, consume power charges, deal 25% more damage. Still might try to tinker with that. Don't know if I'm going to defaultly go with that at the beginning, so we're probably just going to go non-channeling spells, deal 30% more damage at the start. Then we're going to get our Rupture of the Soul for our Explodey Pops, continue down so we can apply additional curse, maybe throw a temp chains in there to throw things down, slow things down even more, make it a little bit easier for us to stay alive. And then finally, do the Jewel Socket one where you just get Buffy Stuffy on your prime jewel there. So that's kind of how the build is being planned out to work. I think we should be okay. We just, we got extra curse effect here, area effect of curse. For the Blasphemy, I got more curse effect up here. Get some lightning nodes. You gotta get stun duration. I had to keep putting it on there when I was doing those T15s because I just kept getting stunned. So a lot of ES, a lot of maximum energy shield as additional stun threshold. Yeah, not stun duration. We want stun threshold on us. But this is just kind of like my first early workings of the tree. Haven't min-maxed it at all yet. So lots of stuff to change, and we'll see what we get with new supports coming out, what uniques come out. Maybe that can help us a little bit, but this is at least my pivot for the moment. It's working. I feel confident going into it. I've tried literally all of the spells that I could. I tried all of the chaos spells to try to get it to work. Couldn't get it to work. They felt bad. I tried all the fire spells, trying to get it to feel good, and I respec my tree every time. Couldn't get it to feel good. Spec'd into Arc, and it was like the first time where I was like, okay, I think we can get something with this. So played Arc in PoE 1. It was always a fun build. Played Arc Totems. There is no spell totem support in PoE 2, so we're just gonna have to raw dog it and self-cast Arc. But I do think we will be okay. Arcane Tempo, Controlled Destruction, we're not critting on this build. I know you can go with the crit version, but I'm not. I'm just going with ailments and elemental damage. Yeah. Doing Lightning Conduit just gives you that nice crowd, because once again, we want to try to lower all the enemies' health as much as possible. So when those Profane Blooms, or what it's called in PoE 2, I'm not sure, but when we're rupturing our soul to kind of get that pop, we want to make sure the life's as low as possible so they all explode and die. So that's where the extra chains come in, which is nice. That's where Lightning Conduit comes in, it hits everything, and you don't have to really aim. Like, you can use Comet or other things, but once again, you can miss. At least with Lightning Conduit, it just kind of auto hits, which is nice. So, you know, Hypothermia, Heightened Cursed, Magnified Effect, Clarity, because you're going to need for the mana, and the ES, because the one thing with the new Ascendancy is non-channeling spells cost 3% additional maximum energy shield. 3% of maximum energy shield. So, you know, you're going to have some recoup there in mana. Hopefully that Clarity can keep up with it a little bit. Shouldn't be too bad. If you're used to Archmage, you're kind of it's going to be something similar, but probably not as intense. But yeah, that's kind of the thought behind everything. Drop a comment down below. Let me know what you think. Let me know what we can improve. If you can see a better way of doing something, if we can optimize the tree a little bit, if we can get a unique to pump the damage better, let me know. But yeah, let me know your thoughts, and good luck tomorrow on League Launch. Hopefully everyone's build doesn't suck. Take it easy. Peace.